Hi everybody, Dr. Misty here. I'd like to talk today about causes of inflammation and the 3 F's that we are doing daily that are causing these inflammatory processes to happen in our body. Now, one of the biggest reasons for pain can be chemical mediators setting off inflammatory markers that send signals to our brain. So pain is a perception, okay? But inflammation is more of a biochemical process. But the inflammation in itself is what causes one of the things that causes pain. Okay, so the 3 F's that we're doing daily that cause inflammation, the first one is our foods. So there are many foods that we are intaking on a daily basis that are causing inflammation. This includes acidic foods, so things that have what's called high in omega-6, that's processed foods, crackers, think of anything that's highly processed, chips, potato chips, those are all more of an inflammatory type of food. Red meats, soda, sugars. Sugar is a huge inflammatory process that kicks off the inflammatory process a lot. So there's things in our bodies that there's processes in our bodies that try to mediate the inflammation, and so these foods will actually take over certain enzymes and create pathways in our bodies that will push more towards pro-inflammatory processes. Hence, sometimes if you eat more of a specific food, you can feel worse or more pain. And one of the reasons for that, again, is the inflammatory process. Okay, so again, one of the F's is food, so things that we are intaking in our body. The second one is faulty biomechanics. Okay, so our functionality, our faulty biomechanics. So our posture, joint dysfunction, things that are causing our bodies to not be in alignment or have that proper joint function. So in chiropractic, there are many things that there are many names for what we call this. Some chiropractors call it subluxation and spinal misalignment. Some call it joint dysfunction, joint fixation, joint restriction, faulty biomechanics. There's a multitude of ways we can we can label it, but what it really is our spine is our structural unit to our body. Our spine, it is encased inside of our spinal cord is encased inside of our spine, and our spines are meant to provide structure, protection, and mobility, right? So we have joints and muscles attached to our spine, and so when there is faulty movement created by either a lifestyle change, an injury, whatever it may be, that is going to cause disruption in the biomechanics. So it's going to cause faulty biomechanics. That's going to cause things to compensate, tissues around it to compensate. This is something I help people come out of on a daily basis. But that faulty biomechanics is going to cause an inflammatory process. And then that inflammatory process is going to send off those pain signals. Okay, so this could be as simple as you are sitting at your desk every single day and looking to the right, and your ergonomics are wrong, and that's consistently setting off faulty biomechanics in the joints of your neck on that specific right side. That's just an example. Okay, and the third and final one is actually frustration. So frustration, otherwise known as, we will say stress. Stress is going to produce hormones and a stress response in our body. It's going to amp up our nervous system. It's going to amp up our sympathetic nervous system, which is in turn going to amp up our adrenal glands, which is in turn going to amp up our cortisol levels, which is in turn going to amp up our glucose and blood glucose levels, right? So there's all there's like a cascade happening, and what's going to happen is that's going to cause an inflammatory chronic stress, right? Stress kills us. So if you're constantly in a stressed, frustrated state, that's something that's truly going to affect your physiology. It's going to set off those inflammatory markers, and it's going to lead to more pain. It's going to cause also a psychosomatic response that's going to help lead to tightness in the muscles. But again, so that's gonna be another factor of leading to inflammation. and inflammation in our arteries, and there's a lot to it. So again, just a reminder, there's 3 things in our days that can be consistently causing inflammation in your body, and you want to watch out for those. So our foods, our faulty biomechanics, and frustration. Okay, so I hope that helps add value to your day and your life. I want to see you guys taking some responsibility for your health. I know it is difficult. I've been there, but I know you can do it, and I hope this helps you. Okay, be well. Thanks so much for listening.